These are my journals. I have been journaling for over 2 years now, and in doing so, I've learned many practical lessons when it comes to self improvement and discipline. Journaling has become an essential part of my life that I use almost every day to help get me closer to my goals, help accomplish things that I want to do in life, work through complex emotions, and analyze my emotional states at all times. Let me walk you through some of my journey by learning how to effectively use journaling in my day to day life. I got into journaling when my mind just wouldn't stop. I just didn't know how to handle my emotions well, and I was stuck in my own headspace without a way to escape. I had supportive friends and family members, but I just didn't want to talk to them about my issues because I didn't really think they would understand, and I wouldn't have been able to put it into words all that well. I had gotten rejected from an international competition that I was applying to. I got my visa rejected actually. And during that time, I was just really sad. I didn't know how to really put my emotions out there, how to process the trauma that I went through. And that's where I found journaling. I just got a piece of paper and I just started writing. I'd write in it for a day or two and forget about it for a week or two. I wasn't really consistent with it. I didn't really know what I was writing. I didn't write with the intention of trying to find emotional insights or try to work through my issues. Really, I just wanted to write to do lists, bullet points that I just needed to get done. So I felt like I have some momentum of my life coming back up. Eventually, I did get over the rejection, but I still didn't really focus a lot on journaling. It just became something that I do every day or two just for the sake of it. I found it a bit fun, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it exactly. After a while, it started to become this niche little thing that I do. I started doing it more often, and I started to incorporate my day to day activities in the journal and trying to work through some of my emotions. It was nothing really unique, it was nothing interesting, but it really, really made a difference in my life. I felt like I have some place where I can just be myself. I didn't have the pressure of having to filter my words or just understand what I'm really going through. I just write, and the rest came later. I just write, write. Things began to change when I got into my junior year of high school. I was really stressed at the time, and I had a lot of activities that I needed to be doing in regards to my college applications and overall like academic life. I started to bring my journal to school, and I used any free minutes in the school day to write down to do lists of things that I had to do when I go home, like homework or whatever studying that I needed to do, whatever activity, whatever hobby that I wanted to do. I would list it down. I would write it down in the journal so I can just write it, forget about it, and I don't have to worry when I go home about what do I need to do or what I don't need to do. I don't have to devote mind space for that anymore. I just wrote it, forgot about it, and when the time came, I knew exactly what I needed to be doing. When I got home, I would take the journal out of my bag and I'll take it to my desk with the rest of my studying stuff. I'd open it, I'd see what I needed to be doing, and as I work through it throughout the day, I check on the things that I did and I put an X on the things that I didn't. And then the things that I put an X on that I didn't get to accomplish that day, I would put them with the next tasks on the next day. So if I missed a task on one day, I'd go back and I'd do it again. This system was really simple, but it really helped in my productivity because it helped to keep me a bit responsible. After a while of doing this to do list in my journal, I started to become a lot more involved with it. I started writing my emotions and the situations that I would come across day to day with my friends, my family, and myself. I would start to analyze why I skipped out on certain tasks that I said I wanted to do. And I started working through complex emotions and starting to notice patterns. Over time, these simple steps towards trying to understand my feelings compounded and started to have a tangible positive effect. I started to notice my emotions before they spiraled. I started I stopped myself from going into bad habits like procrastination or anger outbursts, and I began to realize cycles in my behavior and my thought processes. Journaling is not magic and it won't fix you overnight, but it allows you to get a expansive perspective on what you're doing. It's like a mirror. Once you start writing and noticing patterns and observing what your emotions are like and what your thought processes are like, you start to have a lot more insight into what you truly believe in and what drives your actions most of the time. It clears the fog, it slows the brain down, and it allows you to understand what really goes on in your head so you can continue to hone it to arrive to your ultimate goals. If you're interested in starting to journal as well, here's what I would have to say to you. The number one tip that I have is to get yourself a physical notebook. Having something physical and tangible in your life that you can touch and you can feel it, you can see it wherever you go, it really helped me to stick to it and become a lot more consistent with it. Understand that you can do it online, you can do it through Google Notes or Drive or Notion or whatever else that you use to write. But I personally really like and prefer the physical writing where you're just you yourself. You're writing with a pencil, with a pen in a physical location. It really helps to emphasize that connection and allow you to think and understand your emotions and the actions that you are doing that happen inside your head and that lead to your actions. The second tip that I would give to you all is that you have to write with sincerity, not professionally. Your journal is something that only you will read. You're not supposed to be writing it formally, and you're not supposed to be filtering your words for anyone that might read it. You want to be as honest with yourself as possible. You want to be able to acknowledge where your faults are, and you need to be able to speak openly about things that bother you and secrets that you might have. I encourage everyone that if you want to journal, particularly for the aspect of self-reflection and understanding your thought patterns, that you write as sincere as possible. It allows you to truly get into your head and understand the patterns and processes that happen and lead. The third and final tip that I have for you all is to just show up. You need to just make sure that you do it every single day. If you want to make journaling a habit, then you need to work it into your life as much as possible. By writing every day about what you're feeling, it allows you to build it into a habit. If you don't have anything interesting that happened on that day, you can write. You can use journaling prompts online if you want as well. Anything to allow you to work every day, to allow you to get used to it and make it feel as natural as possible. By doing that, it can become a natural part of your life, and then you can switch to doing it only when you need to. I don't journal every day. I journal only when I need to, when I have an event that I want to fix, when I have an event that I want to dwell on and get lessons from. A final note that I want to say about journaling is that it is a tool. It is a tool that allows you to understand and reflect. But if you're not comfortable with writing, and if it doesn't feel natural to you, then that's completely okay. You don't need to force yourself into trying to work with something that doesn't feel natural for you. You can switch to other productivity techniques that allow you to get to the same goal, and it's completely up to you, whatever you want to do. Self-improvement is a lot more dynamic than a lot of people think. Just because one tool works for me doesn't mean it will work for other people. You need to go out there, test yourself, see what works for you and see what doesn't, so you can truly get as much benefit from it as possible. The end goal here is trying to understand your inner thoughts and trying to become a better person. And there's many different ways of accomplishing this. Thank you all for watching the video. I hope that you've enjoyed it. And if you're interested in more self-improvement content like this, then please like and subscribe, and continue to follow me on my other pages on Instagram and TikTok. I hope to see you here again. Goodbye.